You versus the one she told you not to worry about. It seems that time is a circle, and all things are cyclical. Even a dish the Slavs call sausage and dough, or sasiski v teście. Originating in the Anglosphere, this became popular in the post-Soviet world in the 90s. Think American pigs in a blanket, with a British sausage roll form factor, and a little bit of added richness. Now, I'm going to teach this adapted recipe to the audience that it originated from, thus creating some sort of culinary feedback loop where we're making a copy of a copy and hopefully improving upon it instead of, well, you know.
And you know, sometimes you make a copy of a copy, it's not quite as sharp as, well, the original. And what?
Popular as a street food, you'll see them sold at local bakeries, school cafeterias, and transit hubs. Basically, it's a hot dog baked in spiral-wrapped brioche-like dough, and they are awesome. I know that it may sound like some sort of college stoner fever dream, but they are beloved by everyone, young and old, for a reason. Think of it as a sort of oversized deluxe pig in a blanket. So, a hog in a duvet?
What are you doing? I wanted to eat a pig in a blanket. In a blanket.
So get ready to supersize that party snack into a portable meal, because today I'm going to teach you guys how to make sasiski v teście. To make this dish, we just have to make the dough and buy some hot dogs. The dough will be incredibly similar to a brioche, but I have adjusted the Slavic version to be a little less sweet, since some of the versions here can be quite cake-like. If you don't want to make the dough, I suppose you could use a pre-made dough and speedrun this dish in just a few minutes. Or, for anyone from the US South, pre-made biscuit dough would likely be amazing. When choosing sausages, you want a cheap hot dog without a casing. The cheaper the better. In this case, the caseless cheap sausages are a feature, not a bug. If you can find cheese-stuffed hot dogs, those are the absolute best. Also for this video, I have chosen oversized sausages called sardelki, which are not super common for sasiski v teście. I just did this to make the US pigs in a blanket look even smaller in comparison.
Those look pretty big to me. Above average. They're enormous.
To make the dough, you'll need to warm 140 grams of milk till it's hot tub warm. About 45 seconds in the microwave if you don't want to use the stovetop. But you must add at least 5 grams of sugar to ensure the yeast will bloom in the milk. If you want a sweeter dough, add a bit more sugar, but no more than a couple tablespoons. Mix the warm sweetened milk with 5 grams of yeast and wait till the yeast blooms. Once the yeast has a thick foamy head, add that to 300 grams of flour with a heavy pinch of salt, along with 30 grams of melted butter and a beaten egg. Footage, it seems, I did not film. Here I manually mixed in softened but unmelted butter after I had already incorporated the egg and milk, because apparently with brioche, the extra fat from butter inhibits the development of gluten, and adding it later creates a fluffier dough. But after trying it both ways, I can tell you it only makes a slight difference and adds so much more time. So unless you are making this in a stand mixer, just nuke your pre-softened butter for 15 seconds and add everything together all at once, instead of slowly working the soft butter into the dough and coating your kitchen counters in fat. Once the dough comes together, knead until you can form into a smooth ball and let sit at room temp in an oiled container for about an hour and a half. Once the dough is doubled in size, you're ready to start rolling out. To make things more manageable, split the dough ball in two and roll out into large rectangles. The half ball should make 5 strips, so measure and cut the rectangle into 5 strips. Then, pinch the strip just before the tip of the hot dog and roll the dough into an overlapping spiral around the hot dog. Roll all 10 sausages and set on an oiled tray, but do not crowd them since they will expand. Let proof at room temp for 30 minutes to an hour. While they proof, preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Once proofed, brush a beaten egg yolk onto the jumbo dogs, making sure to coat all exposed surfaces, and bake for 25 minutes. It is important to note that you can also replace the dogs with the kotlety from my Soviet meatloaf video and roll those up, as these are popular to use with this dough as well, thus making a related dish called kotlety w teście. Once finished, take out and let rest for 5 to 10 minutes so the dough can set, and then dig in. Now you have a movable feast, a childhood delight that turns your pig-in-a-blanket snack into a legit meal, perfect for travel, hiking, or a light lunch. Additionally, you could pull the most baller move ever at your next party or potluck and wordlessly replace traditional pigs in a blanket with these mammoths in an act of culinary shock and awe, slamming these girthy bad boys down on the table to impress your unsuspecting guests.
Full-size Snickers, bam! Who does that? Who does that? Nobody! Nobody!
Any way you choose to enjoy them, they are certain to be a hit with everyone. Let me know what you think of these street food favorites in the comments, and subscribe if you haven't. Until next time. Thanks, guys.
That's a fun time snack.